A wonderful evening to you, wherever you may be in the world. Once again, this is your host, Max K, and it's MaxPod. And today I have a very special guest in the person of Ajua Isiedwa Boating. She's actually my wife. Today I had to bring her. And today we are celebrating women. We are in the month of women. We are also recognizing the need of breast cancer awareness. So, what better guest than to bring a woman? And of course, someone dear to my heart. So, Isidro, you're welcome. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm fine. Can
Awesome.
you guys tell that I have a fake smile?
Yeah, she's saying that because I had to rope her in and kind of nudge her to come into the studio today. Yeah, but all too well. We've been together for 5 years. How has it been for you for 5 years now?
Been in what sense?
No, in terms of being married to me, how has it been for you?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, okay, you are giving calculated answers. Now, some of you may not know this, but some of you know me as a pastor, some of you know me as a prophet, some of you even know me as like a youth kind of pastor, missionary, but also a married man. How has it been for you, experiencing all sides of this young gentleman called Max?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, come on,
Okay,
feel free,
but on a
feel
more
free.
serious note, being married to a pastor is something I didn't plan to do.
Hmm.
I didn't plan to. But it just so happens in the workings of the Lord. And I will say it's not the faint of heart.
It's not for the
Some
faint of heart.
It is not. You see, some people see the pastor, hey, Pastor Max, hey, Pastor Max. It's not, it's not that easy. And I think I always see that the most difficult or most challenging part of being married to a pastor is trying to fit into everybody's box. Everyone has their own expectation of what a pastor's wife to be. Some think you don't wear makeup. Some think you should be a pastoress. Some think you should, they all have their own. You have to maybe wear a scarf, and that is the most challenging part of it. Like not offending Christians
Mm.
with you being your natural self, um, and minding your business and trying to serve God. Because if you're a pastor's wife, you have to sit in front. I don't
Mm.
want to sit in front. Let me sit at the back. I want to be in the background. But people
Have
think that
expectations.
expectations
Yeah.
that if you're a pastor's wife, you have to definitely also be a pastor or a pastor in the making. So by now I should be getting ready to be a reverend.
Mm.
I'm not. Thank you. If you're a pastor's wife, you should be a powerful worship leader.
Mm.
No, please, I'm
Mhm.
not. You know, I, for one, am part of the children's ministry. It's in the background. People don't really know the children's teachers. They don't really pay attention to us.
Mm.
And it is fine because at the end of the day, that is my calling.
Mm.
And my calling is not my husband's calling.
Mhm.
So I will say the difficult part is trying to fit in people's expectations.
It actually brings to mind something that happened in a church we used to be in where my wife bows her head because there was a period where, I was pastoring this church before I got married. And when she was coming, the women decided to have a meeting with me. And prior to that, they had a meeting with her when she came. It's like, okay, so she has to take over the women's ministry. And it was like, I told them, oh no, my wife is not that sort of person. She likes to be in her own, place and take her time. And as at that time, they were like, oh, what are you trying to say, Pastor? She's our mommy. So, well, like you're saying, I think a lot of people have very wild expectations when you are a pastor's wife. And unfortunately, the pressure it's not right, as at that time. They should probably allow you to grow, into yourself and what God is leading you to. Because you are a corporate woman. Since I've known you, you've been a corporate person all this while. Yeah. And how is it going for you on that tangent too?
Oh, it's going fine. Before this, I said I didn't want to mention where I work,
Oh, you
you
don't
know.
need to, but
But then I work in a corporate institution as a risk and compliance manager. So you can just imagine, I don't like when people don't do the right thing at all.
Mhm.
It's like it's something that was already part of me.
Mhm.
And then some way, somehow, I found myself in that space.
Mhm.
How is that going? It comes with its own challenges.
Mhm.
I would say that on that front, if you're a Christian, the way God develops the fruit of the Spirit in
Mhm.
us, maybe for me, I go to work and all that. God finds a way to use those circumstances
Mhm.
to build you up as a Christian, because there are certain challenges that you feel on a face on a daily basis
Mhm.
with your superiors, your colleagues, your subordinates, which molds you. So there are diverse things that I have gone through that
Mhm.
have matured me as a Christian. So
Mhm.
that part of my life is really not separate at all from like my Christian life. It is like God working his thing on a daily basis
Yeah.
at that side as well. So it's
So
like,
so to say that, like me, I pastor, you get it. But for you, your corporate life actually is a certain sense of ministry you're called to, at least right now, because you can identify, with how God is able to grow even the fruits of the Spirit through the daily things you do. What do you think on that?
yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, because constantly people are trying to bring the I don't know what word to use. They are trying to give you a reason not to be called. I know, no, no, say, oh yeah, pastor's wife. No,
Software,
people
Asafa
are
Mami.
constantly trying to bring out that part of you. But if you ask God to make you patient, He will definitely put you in circumstances that test that patience or
Mm,
that builds that patience. So yes, definitely, I would say you're right.
mm,
I
okay.
don't want to come up with particular, instances and
Scenarios,
scenarios.
yeah.
It might not be appropriate.
Yeah, I understand that. And
Yeah.
and and that's okay. But even on the side of, corporate person being married to someone who I'm a full-time, pastor, missionary. Apart from that, yes, I'm involved in a number of businesses and investments too. What are the misconceptions? Maybe you might have heard or people generally have about being married to a pastor or a prophet.
Misconceptions
Yeah.
in the corporate world or generally in general.
Generally,
Oh, in terms of the misconceptions, I've mentioned it. I mean, in terms of the way you dress, how
Mm,
you speak, what your opinions are on
mhm.
issues.
So that's with the
Um,
pastor's wife. How about what they think about the pastor? Do you get it?
I mean,
All your
as
problems
people
are
look at
taken
me
care
and
of
they say that, hey,
because
pastors, no, no, they'll be telling you that you should marry for character, but they'll go and pick somebody with, those kind of, and start comparing you to other pastors. So you also I saw for the omunyo, this, that kind of thing. That's just, a funny part. But
Mhm.
generally, I think people would generally not come to me if they have the wrong opinion about pastors because they know I'm a
Mm.
pastor's wife. It's like if somebody wants to do concern about your friend, they'll not tell you.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe they'll tell somebody else.
Mhm.
But if they generally have any negative um
Vibe or any comments?
about a pastor,
Mhm.
most likely I'll not be the person that they tell. They'll just make jokes about it
Mhm.
here and there. But generally, that is it. But you find once in a while those that know that your husband is not just a pastor but a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Can you ask your husband if he has any word? Can, can you tell your husband to pray for me? He said, Big, I've not finished collecting my word, though. My prophecies, I've not every day. I even ask for some.
Mercy.
But of course, you have people who sometimes ask you, hey, can you ask the prophet if if they can pray for me, or if they've seen something about me, especially when you're at work and things are not going on well, like we are all together in the story, in the situation, and people want to know, ask the pastor for me, what's going on, what is God saying? So you have a bit of those ones as well.
I
Yeah.
think one, it's fantastic all you're saying, but one of such things I have been faced with is, people saying that, oh, as for your wife, that she's fully taken care of in terms of prayer. Like morning, afternoon,
Hey,
evening, you are
let me
always
tell you,
praying
see,
for
let me
her.
tell you, that
You
is
know.
not it. I have to pray, wake up and pray for myself. I have to
Yeah,
pray for myself.
yeah,
I see, I'm married to a pastor, but I also need to join the NSPPDs,
sharp.
the Hallelujah
Yeah,
challenges, the this thing,
alpha
Alpha.
hours.
Every once in a
Yeah,
while, I need to pray for myself.
yeah.
Coming to think about that,
Mm-hmm.
I think getting married at first, it wasn't like only people had that misconception. I myself
Mm-hmm.
had that misconception that I was on cruise control. Hey,
Mm.
nobody told me to sit up. Nobody told me to sit up
Yes.
and pray for myself,
Yeah.
because I mean the Bible also says that do not be unequally yoked. So
Yeah.
if I'm now becoming the weak, the weak vessel here, I'm sure God can remove me anytime and bring somebody who can do the work. So I equally have the responsibility
Mm.
to cover myself and also cover my husband, because I have to pray for him. Most people are always taking from the pastor. We also have to give and pray for him. How many people pray for their pastors? Very,
Mm.
very few people. I mean, I know that because I've also been on the other side before.
Mm-hmm.
We are always calling, Pastor, I had this dream. Sometimes I ask, can't you wake up till tomorrow morning? Can't you wait till 10 o'clock? Is it life and death?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's challenging because sometimes looking at people calling at odd hours, when you realize it could have waited.
And she's saying this because normally,
It
so
happens a
yes,
lot.
there's the church. Of course, I used to pastor, like I was a senior pastor in a church, and now I am more of a youth pastor in a different church, because the Lord impressed on my heart to focus on youth, missions work, and intercession. So I have other periods, I do a lot of other meetings with people and pray, as a group. And for that matter, we're involved in a lot of youth, explosive missions and ministry all across, not just the local church. And there are periods where I'm online, I finish online meeting, I close like 9 p.m., and I start getting calls, and I have to do some kind of prayer counseling till like 10, and sometimes it even drags to 11 p.m. And in all of those periods, you can tell from her face, she has to wait. So, are you done before I actually get to talk to her?
Sometimes I have to ask, so I can't talk to you yet. I have to wait. I'm living with the pastor, but when
Yeah.
I am going to work, he's asleep. And when I come back, online ministration, then people start sending their messages, calling in. And I always tell him that you have to create some boundaries, because people call you when they are free. They
Indeed.
don't call you when they are busy at work. They call you when they have time. So you also need to create some boundaries and make them aware. The only people I kind of understand are those who are outside the country,
Mm.
because of the time difference. Sometimes it might not work so much for them. But, well, I guess it's just the cross I have to carry. So, as you guys are calling, just know someone is carrying the cross here.
And these are very real things, A lot of people do not realize that the pastor doesn't get to sleep all the way through. She's probably she's preparing to leave home like between 5 to 6. And by then, I've been up till like 4 a.m. I'm now getting to sleep for like 2 or 3 hours, and I'm up again. And I have a whole routine that follows. And people at home would get to think that, oh, everything is catered for. As the pastor, I also have like a family. So recently I necessarily cut down some days, like Mondays and Wednesdays, so that I can just have time, for family. So these are some misconceptions that generally people have about couples in ministry. When we get back again, we'll continue a little bit on that tangent and we'll see more about my wife.
Let me just add one thing.
Hmm.
There are also like some prayer watches that my husband has, like maybe when it's 6 o'clock. In middle conversation,
Uh, Then I mumble and I pray. I have a quarterly prayer I do.
I have to
Yeah.
wait.
Viewers will be back.